All right, so next question. Who inspires you?
Okay, so my kids, my husband, and myself.
That's a good answer.
Look at
You got the big
look at
man.
that
That
guy.
guy right there. The inspiration. As the inspiration walks through the door.
The inspiration. He's applauding for
Yeah. The man right there. That's like comedic comedy perfectness where we yeah.
you. Exit stage right. Stage right clinger.
That guy.
That guy.
As I asked the question, almost like we timed it. He just
He
walks through
just
the door.
knows.
There he is.
He just knows.
And so tell me a little bit about Mr. Ben Bowman and why he inspires you. Let's talk him up for a little bit. I want to hear it. I know why, but let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Put me on pressure. He's right over here.
So let's hear it. Pump him up. Let's pump my guy up.
Pump him up. My big daddy dollars. Listen,
Yeah.
we've been together for almost 10 this it'll be 10 years this summer that we've been together. Relationship. Um going on what, 7 or 8 years of marriage.
Woo!
And as much as he drives me crazy, Ben is my best friend and he understands me. He understands that my anxiety and this and that isn't who I am. It's just something I struggle with.
Right.
So he can be very patient too. So he's just overall good. Good guy right there.
Well, and you guys are a perfect match because like your personalities reflect each other. Like as I was saying before, as much as we talk, Ben and I feel like we haven't met in person. We're just like
Besties
you, one of my
for the
closest
resties.
friends, and yeah, he's
And
true.
that's Ben's really good about. He's very much a people person. He will talk to anybody, a stranger, anybody. He don't care. He'll talk to anybody, and he'll talk to them for hours. He's definitely somebody that you should have to be an ear and to give you advice.
And he knows what he's doing. He's a businessman. He's doing
Mm-hmm.
very well for himself in a
Mm-hmm.
tough place to go. Is go out on your own and be your own boss, and you're holding yourself accountable day after
Yeah,
day. And there's definitely something to be said for that. In my
and
opinion.
he really is. He's doing a good job. He works hard. He
So,
he does good. Good man.
I always enjoy when he's like, "I gotta go do this project over here. I gotta go paint these. I gotta go."
When
It'll
he's
be
telling you about
midnight
his,
on a
yeah,
yeah on a
let me go
Thursday,
get
and
this
he's
estimate done.
yeah, I gotta go do this, do that. So
It's a busy man.
very cool. So well, it's time for me to tell my side of my story.
Okay.
As you've known, we've been friends for a long time, and you are always my go-to whenever I'm, you know, dealing with
Going
some
through
stuff.
it.
Like I said, that ear just to, when I don't even know, you were actually there when I got my worst news. But so how I got into podcasting in general, like I have the Drive Aside show that is still available on Spotify. If you want to go listen to some old episodes,
Hmm.
where it I'd never listened to podcasts or been into podcasting whatsoever. I didn't even know anything about it. And my nephew Jonathan, who lived with me at the time, 2021, I said, "Uncle, so you should start a podcast." I'm like, "Huh?" I'm like, what does that even mean? I didn't, at the time,
Right.
I didn't even. And I'm like, okay, it's a way to get your voice out there. You have something to say. Well, okay. I'm like, all right. So I started the podcast as self improvement and way to reach out, help myself,
Yeah.
with some things that I was
An
going through
outlet.
at the time. Yeah, going through whether it was at the time, I mean, it was um, I don't know if you want to call it relationship type stuff where you know children were involved, and it's always
I
tough
was
in
gonna
your
say, yeah.
relationship when you get close to, their kids, and then you break. It was that was very
Yeah.
difficult time, and and I needed something in life to do to reach out and feel that purpose, and like we're doing now, where you know we want to you know reach out, get that meaning in life, or hey, if we can help somebody, if we can put our stories out there and it can help people, if,
And, yeah, and just let them know they're not alone. There's a lot of people who deal with the same thing as you,
right,
as others. So,
like I've said before, the mental health thing is like, let's take an umbrella, like it's raining. Anything you can think of, that's whether it's anxiety, depression, dealing with whatever it is, like my mental health, there was a stigma behind it for a long time, and I think maybe
right.
there still is, and
Yeah.
it's something that everyone deals with. Some people just mask it, some people deal with it in other ways, like you said, with anger. And I've been that way too, myself. Like, I might come across as a very calm and cool person, but like, I get it where sometimes, like, you drop,
Rage. You just
yes,
rage.
and it sucks, and you feel like in the moment you're like, oh my good, like even yourself, you're like, good.
Yeah, and at the end of it, it's exhausting. It's
Yeah,
very
and you
exhausting.
know it's not good for you. You know
Mhm.
there's no good that can come out of feeling that way, out of
Mhm. Not
being
for
just
you.
pure angst, like
Mhm.
over stuff that like really doesn't really even matter. Like, in 5 minutes from now, is that gonna matter? Like how I'm
Right.
feeling
Right.
about it. Like, no, it's not. But
It's rough
uh,
out here.
but you know, it's all a lot of these things are easier said than done. So back to that, when I had my podcast, Drive a Show, it was all about, I talked about the 12 laws of karma, something I think you and I could revisit on this show. A very interesting topic. I talked about that. And, just basically, my big motto was mind over matter back then, where it was
Okay.
just, put your mind, if you put your, because I felt like I manifested things at that time because I put my nose to the grindstone. I put everything I had into my podcast, and it went really well, and everything was just clicking for me,
Yeah.
and it did really well, and I was like mind over matter, I preached that. And then, I even mentioned in one of the songs I made, I'm just trying to feel this vibe before I lose it, because like eventually I did. I just,
Yeah.
everything I was talking about, everything that I was doing, I kind of came to a realization of like, hey, I need to stop and put my money where my mouth is, and talk about, do what I'm, live about what I'm talking about, make
Right.
sure that I'm not just over here saying, hey, live this way, think this way, do this, do that. But am I doing it myself?
Right. 100%.
So eventually, and I kind of got it, so I stopped and got away from doing the podcast. And it was disappointing to me because, you know, I had a lot of people who were kind of, I felt, depending on me to deliver what my message was, and I kind of felt like I failed them, and I think the relationship with my nephew who was living with me at the time kind of soured because of, he was, with being a roommate type situation, things just didn't, go well, and
Right.
eventually I had to, ask him to, find someplace else to stay, and I stayed away from.
Yo, I don't see you. It's there we go. I don't get it.
Okay,
We might
I
have to
think I
try.
can. Like, okay, this is. I'm gonna have a talk with somebody here real quick.
What?
So this time, the internet it said no net. Okay, this time it had a total different message. Like my network just dropped.
You're still recording.